We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Hello friends, and welcome to the video lecture series of ADO.NET, specially for the 4th semester student of Diploma Engineering. This video is presented by me, Kaushal, Talshania, faculty at the SANJAYBHAI RAJGURU College of Diploma Engineering, Rajkot. So this is the part 1 of our lecture series. In this video, I am going to tell you something about ADO.NET, what is ADO.NET and how it is formed, etc. So let's start. So what is ADO.NET? ADO.NET means ActiveX Data Object. So this is the most important part. This is the full form of ADO, ActiveX Data Object. What is it? It is the database technology used to connect .NET application with the database. So in the one side our database, our application, and another side there is database. So ADO.NET used to connect our application to the database. It is the part of .NET framework. Earlier we have studied the .NET framework overall, and this ADO is the part of that framework. It is the collection of classes, so means it is the namespace, or we can say the API to handle the database operations, various database operations like insert, update, delete, whatever. It uses the XML for storing and manipulating the data. So what is XML? XML means extensible markup language. So this language is used for storing and manipulating the data by the ADO. It is scalable and interoperable. Scalable means it can be used for larger enterprise organizations, and it is interoperable means many types of databases can be handled by the ADO.NET. Now we will study its architecture. Okay, so now we will study the architecture of ADO.NET. Before that, we will see some questions asked in previous years by the GTU. In winter 2019, they asked draw and explain ADO.NET architecture in 3 marks. In summer 2019, they again asked the same question in the 4 marks. In summer 2018, they again asked in the 4 marks. So 3 or 4 marks they asked repeatedly this question year and year. So each year one question will be asked about the architecture of ADO.NET. So how it is look like? There are some objects. We will study detail in the later parts, but for now let us consider it as it is. The first object is the connection object. As the name suggests, this will use to connect our application to the database. Now next object is the command object. It is used to represent a query like insert, update, delete, and many other. So command object will use to represent the query. Remember, it is not used to execute the query, it only represent it. Not only queries, it is also represent the stored procedures and etc. Next component is the data reader object. As the name suggests, it is used to read the data that is fetched from the data source. And the most important part of this is the data adapter. It is used to fire the select, query, insert, update, and delete. So these and many more other operations that are used to fetch data from the data source by the data adapter. So the actual work of fetching the data is done by the data adapter and not by the command object. So this completes the first part of our architecture, and it is called the data provider. So it is used to provide the data from data source to our application. So let us now focus into another part. We remember how the table will be formed. Table comprises of row, table comprises of column, and there are some constraint, or we can say the rules. So data row collection, data column collection, and constraints means primary key, foreign key, and some rules, etc. So these all are comprises and combines it to form the data table object. So data table means what? It is collection of row, collection of columns, and collection of some constraints. There are not one table, but there are many tables. So it is called the collection of data tables. So there is data table collection, and if many more tables are existed, so there will be some relation between them. It is called the data relation collection, and all these will begin to the data set. All these are called the data set. So this is our second part of our architecture. So let us revise it. First we have connection, data command, data reader, data adapter. So these four are comprises by to form the data provider objects. And then second part comprises of data set. So we focus from inner side and then go out. First we will have the row, then the column, then some constraint. It will combinedly to form the data table. The many table comprises to form the data table collection, and if many tables are existed, so there will be some relation between them. So then these both are combined to form the data set objects. So where is our data source then? It is here. It is our data source. Actually the data resides in this. So data provider fetches the data from this data source, and then the data adapter actually executes the queries from data source and takes the data out. So they have two options. Either they give to the data set or they give to the data reader for reading purposes only. So and the data provider is connected to the data source. So the data fetch from the data source by the adapter and then gives to the data set objects. This completes our architecture. Thank you guys. So that is it for now. Please like, share and subscribe our channel to get more videos like this, and see you in the next video. Thank you.